Hello? Cool. Oh. Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Kevin. I'm working as a software engineer at Ledger. I've been there for a little bit more than a year now. And for 8 to 9 months of that year, I've been actually mostly focused on adding NFTs inside Ledger Live, which is our solution for as a companion app for the Nano that we're selling. And my goal of today is to explain a little bit more what actually is an NFT. And I know for a lot of people that might already be clear, but I'm not sure that technically speaking, everybody understands what you can do with an NFT or not, or with a smart contract actually. So if you ask that question to a lot of different persons, you will get a wide range of answers. And if you take, for example, someone that has absolutely no knowledge whatsoever about the blockchain, they will tell you something kind of my mom, like it's a picture of Bitcoin. Of course, that's completely wrong, but at least it's a little bit funny. Why is it funny? It's just funny because she's never going to own anything. She's never going to own any crypto assets. So knowing what it is, it's not that important, I guess. If you take someone who heard about it, just in the media or something like this, they don't really use it, but they heard about it somewhere. For them, most of the time, it's an image on the blockchain. So that's what they believe it is. They believe it's just some kind of image that is stored inside a block and that you can find very easily. And spoiler, for those that actually know that it's not an image on the blockchain, they will tell you most probably that it's a proof of ownership. And that's the most common thing that you will hear. So they believe there is some kind of JPEG police that is capable of saying that you're owning something and you don't. But let's try to see really what is behind the two assumptions that we have here. Is it actually an image on the blockchain? Probably we already spoiled it a little bit, so we know that it's not, but let's get a little bit more technical. Well, first of all, an NFT is never just an image. It's a JSON file stored somewhere that will contain all the description of your NFT. So you will have the image, the name, the description, properties, etc. So first of all, you're not owning a JPEG if you're owning anything. Then almost no NFT or no metadata is actually stored on the blockchain. That would cost too much, and nobody's actually doing it that way. So now you have basically two options. You need to store that JSON somewhere. You have the first option that has been actually the most common thing to do, is storing it on a Web2 server. Very simple. You can just own whatever AWS you want, or have your own Raspberry somewhere, and you can host anything. And you're actually the owner then of the JSON. You can change it. You can just stop paying the bill in a way. Or the second option, of course, you have many others, but the two main are those ones, is using IPFS. So you will use some peer-to-peer hypermedia protocol that will store your JSON somewhere and probably also your image. And that means that nobody is capable of really changing it, because once you have a hash, once you uploaded something, it's not going to be changeable, right? Okay, so we already saw that it's not an image on the blockchain, but is it really a proof of ownership? And what people generally imply behind that is that an NFT would be the same way as a transaction, immutable. It's written somewhere inside a block, and anybody can see it and verify it. Well, first of all, that's not true for Web2. The Web2 storage, we saw it already. If I'm owning the server, I'm owning your JSON. So I can change it, I can delete it, I can do whatever the hell I want with it. But that should be true for IPFS, right? Because I just said nobody can change it, it's decentralized, so it's frozen in a way. So that should be some kind of proof of ownership of something. But then if it's right, if the first sentence is okay, then who's the authority? Who's actually deciding that you're owning something? Well, most people actually believe that they're on the protocol level. So they believe, again, that it's some kind of a transaction that you can just go somewhere on Etherscan and just look at it and you will be able to verify it. Well, that's not really what's happening. You're on the application layer here. So you're working with a smart contract. The smart contract is owned by someone. you're not at the protocol level. You're not here. You're not going to be able to just ask the protocol, am I owning this NFT? That's not how it works. In the end, if we're really sum it up to something, an NFT is just a string. So, for example, right here, I'm taking the Bored Ape contract, I'm calling the tokenary method. It's supposed to give me a string. That string will represent my JSON, and then I can just check what is behind that string, and I will have this description. That's for the token number 1. You can see that my image is an IPFS, and I have some attributes. I can have some properties and everything. But in the end, that's literally the only thing that I own. I'm not owning a JPEG. I'm not owning anything except that string, if I'm owning it. But that string is immutable, right? I mean, I said it before. If it's an IPFS, that's not changeable. Nobody can just take it away from me. Everybody is owning it in a way, but I'm the only one having that string inside my NFT. Well, not really. That's not how it works. The rule here is code is law. So that means one thing. If I'm the contract owner, if I'm the one designing the contract, I can do whatever the hell I want with your NFT, with your ownership. I can do absolutely everything if I decided to make me capable of doing that before deploying the contract, and even before, even after, in some cases. So let's see a very simple example. So here, as you can see, I created an account. I have nothing on OpenSea, and I'm just going to mint something. Of course, through the magic of editing, everything is going super fast. And I have my first Bored Ape. Cool. I can check again on OpenSea. I have it. It's great. I can just verify. I can see my event saying that it has been minted from the null address to mine. And if I check on Polygon Scan, yeah, I have my Bored Ape. It's cool. I minted an NFT. OK. Let's see what I can do now. So it's an IPFS. Of course, I added a getaway to make it easier for me to read. But basically, I'm going to use a specific method that I added in my contract. And when I'm refreshing, now I have a different NFT. I change it because I can. I just changed the string that is behind it. And of course, OpenSea has some cache, so I can just refresh it. And once it's refreshed, I should probably, yeah, it's going to change everything. So I was able to change whatever was behind that string, even though it was IPFS. It doesn't really matter. I'm the contract owner here. So that's exactly what happened. Very simple method, 2 lines. Actually, the first one is not even necessary. I can just say, yeah, for that specific token ID, do something else. And as you can see at the very end, it's only owner, so I'm the only one capable of doing that. So now let's see what I can do. I change the metadata. Can I send an event saying that I transferred something? So I'm creating a new transaction. OK, it's cool. And I can see on Polygon Scan now that if I refresh, oh, I lost my NFT. So I probably transferred it, right? That's what happened. I can see a transfer action right here. So that means that I'm not owning it anymore. But if I refresh OpenSea, I'm still owning that NFT. So what actually happened here? I can see a transfer event, but I'm still the owner in a way. So actually, it's very simple. I just created a method capable of sending the transfer event. The transfer event is the event that is triggered and fired once you're doing a transfer. It's supposed to be done only at the time, but I can decide that I can send it anytime I want. So I can make you believe that you're not owning or owning something if I want to. OK, so now let's do a transfer, for example. So again, I'm just going to transfer my NFT for real this time. I'm not owning any NFT anymore, so that worked. Let's check on OpenSea. If I refresh, OK, so now Jesus is owning my NFT. That's cool. I transferred it to him. Everything worked as expected. But if I check, actually, the transfer, my transfer had a value. So I'm capable of saying that a transfer is payable. Nobody's really doing it, but that's actually possible. That doesn't change the fact that my NFT is completely valid. I can make you pay to transfer something. And of course, if I want, I can just decide that as a contract owner, I'm not obligated to do it. I can just decide that I can send your NFT without your approval, without nothing, just with this specific line, and make you pay if you want to do it. Of course, it's on Polygon here, so it costs nothing, but if it was on Ethereum, that would be way more costful. So what did we saw just right here? So first of all, collection impersonation are a legend. Everybody is doing it. You probably have more scams today than you have real NFTs, specifically on Polygon. And collection names are not unique. If I want, I can just change it. I can call my NFT the way I want. This was literally on Polygon called Bored Ape Yacht Club. I can do whatever I want. It's not unique. NFT balances are mostly centralized around events, which can be faked. And that's what we saw on Polygon Scan. If I send an event saying that you did something, everybody will believe that you did that, just because most people will not take the time to call the contract, verify your ownership on it. They will just centralize all their balances around your events. They will just listen to every single event that they will find on the blockchain. Token URIs can be changed like any other variable in a smart contract. If I design the contract to be able to do so, it's capable to do it. I'm the one deciding. I'm the contract owner. And transfer can be payable, of course, and they can be initiated on your behalf without your approval. That means that I don't need you to give me your approval to do something. Of course, that's going to be true for any random guy, but as the contract owner, if I decided to, I can change it, and I can transfer things for you. And that's actually way more used now because of the migration thing. You will migrate to a new NFT, and the owner is just going to burn everything on your behalf and create everything again on the new contract. And that's not even talking about proxy and delegation. If I want, I can create a smart contract that's going to be upgradable. So that means that today, this is my contract. Tomorrow, it's going to do something else. I can just add features, remove features, change everything. That's my call. Again, it's a proxy, and I can put whatever I want behind it. And we didn't see it yet, but you can also self-destruct. I can make you mint an NFT, make you pay for it. And then I will just decide at a random point that I'm destroying the contract, you're not owning anything, and I kept the money. And so on and so on. We could find many, many different things that are actually doable. So in the end, what you need to understand is that you have no choice but to trust the contract owner. Is your authority. No one on the protocol is capable to know that you're owning something. The contract owner is capable of doing so because it literally designed a function telling you that your balance is X or Y. So how can Ledger help with that? Well, first of all, we added a function almost a year ago now. It's clear signing for transfer. So anytime you want to transfer an NFT inside Ledger Live, it's going to be clear sign on your nano. Your nano is going to tell you exactly what you're doing. And even though it's not possible right now, but because we are crafting the transaction, but if tomorrow MetaMask was actually implementing the same thing, which they can do if they want, they would show you exactly that in your transfer, you're actually having a message value. So that means that you will add Ether or Matic or whatever in your transfer. So that's prevented by the clear signing. You will know exactly what you're doing. And with MetaMask only, you won't be able to do that. And we have one other initiative that is really recent. It's called Ledger Market. What is Ledger Market? It's a curated distribution channel. So we will handpick a few artists and do drops with them. And it's not just us partnering with people. We are actually building the most secure NFT marketplace, if you want to call it that way, in the world right now. Why that? First of all, you will have clear signing for minting. So that means that we are going to give you a very specific nano plugin, and that nano plugin will work only with some contracts. So only the contract that we decided to clear sign will be available and working inside that plugin, which means no impersonation is possible. I cannot just create another contract called the same, and you will be able to believe it. That's fixing it. We also provide a security review on the smart contracts that are deployed by the artist. So it's done by the Dungeon, which is our security team inside Ledger. And we will also offer, with Ledger Vault, which is our enterprise solution, smart contract governance on everything. So that means that, sure, you will still have to trust the contract owner, but at the very least, they will not be able to, you won't find just a lone wolf capable of doing everything just by himself. It's going to be through governance, you will have multi-sig, and they will make sure, you can make sure at least that the project is done by a group of people. The project is actually designed and governed by the people that built it, not just one guy. And if you want that as well, it's actually super easy. Ledger is an open platform, and that means that you can have your own nano plugin, you can do your own clear signing, and you can also build your own application that will be available in live, which, again, will have clear signing for everything. So it's open, you can go on our Discord, and you can start working with us anytime. And that's it. If you want to see the contract and everything, it's available on GitHub, and you can just scan the QR code if you want. Thank you.